And I'll wait until you've swallowed whatever you're eating.
Meatball.
Flatzoid, the challenge set forth is, can you disprove gravity in 5 minutes? Why a pen drops on the floor? You wait until you cleared your mouth. And okay, on your marks, get set, go.
Displacement ratio. There we go.
Okay.
Well, you see, it's actually very simple. Let's, for instance, take this little stand for a camera. You would agree that this thing is heavier than the air around it.
Yeah.
And air is unable to support it.
Yeah.
So, if I let it go and nothing can support it, there is only one direction it can go. That's down. Because it displaces the air around it. It's the same as if you go and climb in a swimming pool, you are able to displace your weight so you can float, which they call buoyancy. Interesting fact, Archimedes' principle predates gravity by 1,900 years. Weird how that works.
It's interesting.
So, did we have ships sailing on the ocean before Newton decided to create gravity? Did they have gravity in the equations? This is why we are able to see a cargo ship with thousands of tons floating on the ocean, because it is able to displace based on surface area. It's just got to do with the density ratio to the medium. Even when the globies try and do experiments, they'd never ever manipulate gravity, because you can't manipulate gravity. The independent variable in a scientific experiment is always the presumed cause that has to be manipulated to get the outcome, which would be the dependent variable. So when they claim a vacuum chamber, for instance, and they drop something in a vacuum chamber, what was the independent variable manipulated? The medium. They took the air out that was there and vacuumed it. They vacated the air inside it. Now there's less air. Someone asked you another question. This again. Imagine this in a chamber filled with air. It's already heavier than the air around it. Now when I take the air away, now there's even less to be able to support it. What will happen? It will just fall easier. Again, displacement ratios between the object and the medium. I am still waiting. I've been asking this for 8 years now. Can anybody show me any scientific hypothesis and experiment for gravity? Till this day, I have not got one. I do get people claiming things like Cavendish, but Cavendish is not even an experiment. Cavendish has not got an independent variable and a dependent variable. Cavendish was actually created as a means to calculate, yes, calculate Earth's mean density. It was not made to prove gravity. It is just simply torque vectoring due to the weight on a rod. Do I need to go on? It's very easy to show gravity wrong.
Keep going.
Heck, do you not think God would have told you about gravity in the Bible? I think so. He didn't. But he did tell us God was there when he laid the foundations. God was very specific when he said, who was there when I laid the foundations and drew the line upon the earth? Not a globe, no gravity needed.
Wouldn't the gravity pull in all the planets in space, even though they go in eclipses? So you have they go like that, and they go sharp, and then they manage to hold themselves together. Wouldn't they all just clump together in one big lump?
Well, that's the thing. When they try and demonstrate gravity working, they usually take like a little trampoline or something, and they put a bowling ball in the middle, and they spin a marble around. What happens eventually? It hits that marble. It hits that bowling ball. We never see this. Also, they have what we call the three-body problem. They are not able to perfectly work out using the math for gravity as a force, or not even a force, why those bodies work the way they do. Because gravity doesn't exist. I think that's about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What else can we say?
I mean, if the moon pulls in the waves on the Earth, would it not pull itself into the Earth? If it can just generate the waves.
Things are supposed to pull closer to each other. And also another issue they have with gravity is, about 110 years ago, Einstein came up with the theory of general relativity, which superseded Newtonian gravity. Newtonian gravity is based on a force. Einsteinian gravity is based on not a force, based in a fourth dimensional math.
That's what we call time. That's time on that one. That was really difficult. I think what they're just getting the word confused with. Instead of gravity, what would you call gravity?
Magic.
Displacement. Heavy things fall. Helium goes up because it's a lighter air. You know, like your cereal, all the best bits, like your chocolate balls, they all go to the bottom, don't they? Because they're a little bit heavier through displacement, displacing heavier particles. It doesn't just work on liquids. It works on gases. It works on solids.
Yeah, I mean, that's why when you bring up viscosity, it explains it quite well.
Yeah.
If you look at a vacuum chamber, and let's place this thing inside a vacuum chamber on a scale. Okay, we place on a scale. It gives a weight reading. Now I'm going to evacuate the air. According to gravity, what's supposed to happen to the weight of this thing? It's not supposed to change, is it?
No, gravity's still going through it.
It gets heavier. But there is an issue because they have selective gravity. So some people say, well, air is pushing down on it, so it should be heavier before it gets evacuated. No, it's lighter before it gets evacuated because showing air is not pushing down on it. Air is hitting it in every direction. So that already alone debunks the claim that gravity is pulling gas down towards the Earth.
That's so simple. It sounds like it could be true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, heavy things
This
fall.
is why you could ask that, what do you observe?
Brightly shine, crafted signs of the divine. I'm made for something true. In God's plan, my path renews. Flat earth made by Him, my journey long yet thin. Purpose found in every day, guided by His gentle sway.